My name is Dove Calderwood, and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. So today is the second part of my 500 subscriber spectacular. This video is for people who are subscribed to my channel for my pets. Whether they're causing chaos in the background of one of my other videos, like my security beach playthrough, oh Nibbler, or if they're starring in some of my favorite shorts that I've ever made. The Furry 4 are a cornerstone of my life and my channel, and it really warms my heart to see you guys appreciate them too. I have already made a video, kind of like a little short, kind of explaining who they are a little bit. It's kind of like in a sitcom style, like Full House. If you've never seen it, it's a link. But I figured today I'd go a little bit more in depth, who each of them are, their stories, and show a bunch of cute pictures of them throughout the years. So let's start with the drama queen herself, the petulant teenager, Jessie. I adopted Jessie in July 2009, a couple months after I graduated high school. I had wanted a puppy for the longest time, but my mom kept saying no. But then, you know, as I was getting close to the end of high school, I started realizing, I'm 18 now. I can save up my own money and get myself a puppy. So I talked to my mom saying, if I save up the money and take care of the puppy, can I get a puppy? And she actually agreed. So I started saving up. I saved up about $400 and looked up some breeders online and found some Staffordshire Bull Terrier puppies. They were so cute. And went over to their house. I remember meeting Jessie's biological parents. Her dad was huge. He was like up to my hip. He was like a multi-show champion. He was beautiful. And her mom had actually been saved from a fighting ring, which I thought was pretty cool. She was really shy and skittish, very protective of the puppies. Not in like an aggressive way. She just, you know, was kind of on edge around people being around the puppies. I was looking at the puppies, and I had originally picked a different puppy, but they said, oh, that one's a troublemaker, that one's wild, that one's crazy. Why don't you go with this puppy instead? She's a lot more mellow. That mellow puppy was Jessie. And it turns out she wasn't mellow, she was dehydrated. And as soon as we got that problem remedied, the wild beast known as Jessie emerged. And they actually gave me AKC paperwork for her. She's a pure breed, but I lost it. Never sent it in. Jessie is the funniest dog. Like, she's this big, intimidating creature with like a really deep bark, but she's scared of the dark. She gets bullied by the cats. She's super sassy, like, and she has a really bad licking addiction. A serious licking addiction. Like, the worst licking addiction I have ever seen in a dog. To the point that we have to wrap her up in a blanket to get her to stop licking. It's the most humiliating thing in the world to her, but what choice do we have? We don't want the couch, like, completely soaked with dog slobber. A lot of people tell me it's probably an allergy issue, but I already know that she's on medication for allergies. She still licks though. I don't really get it. But it's been 13 years of love, laughter, and frustration with that pimple, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm glad I chose her out of the litter. I love my Jessie. I would come and show Jessie on camera, but she is kind of too big to get in the chair. I mean, she's done it before, but I don't think it's a good idea. So, I'm sorry, but I will be bringing cats, because they're easier to carry. So that was Jessie. This is Arwen. Say hi. She's a tortie. She's probably gonna be in here as I talk, but she wants down. She hates being held. Like, the biggest thing in the universe. Arwen is my not-so-secret favorite child. I adopted her in July 2012, about a year after I lost my baby girl, my booger bear, Precious. Rest in peace. I was just really sad, really wanted a cat. I missed having a cat. So I decided to wander into PetSmart one day while they were doing one of their adoption drives with the local animal shelter. I was looking at the kittens and there was this little speckled ball of fluff in one of the cages, and she looked at me. It was just like instantaneous. I called my mom, begged, pleaded, blubbered, anything to get her to let me adopt this cat, and she actually let me. She was just this enigmatic little 10-week-old. I was obsessed immediately, and I'm still obsessed with her. I love her. And I asked them what breed she was, and they said tortoiseshell calico. I've always wanted a calico ever since I obsessively played cats with a Z as a kid. I love calicos. I knew we were in trouble Arwen's first night, though. I knew we were in trouble because I was in my room watching TV. Jessie and Arwen were with me, and Jessie decided to take one of Arwen's toys, and she was going to demolish it, as she does to every plushie that she has ever been handed, although she's become a bit of a toy snob in her old age. Arwen wasn't having this. She shot out from under the bed, smacked Jessie in the face, and then grabbed the toy, ran back under the bed. It was the funniest thing I just laugh thinking about it. This little 10-week-old kitten standing up to the 70, 80-pound pit bull. It was so funny. They really didn't get along at first. It was worrisome because Precious and Jessie had never gotten along, and it really kind of broke my heart that Jessie and Precious couldn't connect during Precious's final years, because I'd had her since I was 7, and I was worried it would never happen. And then one night I wake to this strange little suckling sound. I couldn't figure out what it was. It was pitch black. I couldn't see anything. So I start feeling around on the bed, and I feel Arwen, I feel Jessie, I kind of feel around more, and I make the connection. Arwen is suckling on Jessie, and she's letting her. Yes, I'm talking about you. I don't know if you can hear her meowing in the background. I'm talking about you. She was suckling on Jessie, and she continued to let her for like several weeks until she started like knocking her off. It was crazy. She doesn't do it anymore, obviously. She's like 10 years old now, but they're still very close. They cuddle together all the time. Arwen is constantly like giving Jessie kisses, and actually ends up pulling out her eyebrows and eyelashes, but we've accepted that over the decade she's been with us. The sisterly love is real, and I'm really glad for it. I love my little sassy tortie. Now we get to the king of the house, Mr. Nibbler. He does not want to be held right now. Yeah. Ah! There he goes. So Nibbler is my fiance's cat. He got him through his work, and he came to us during a really hard time for our family. A man who was like a father to me had passed away July 4th, 2015. And it was really hard, but Nibbler was literally born 2 days later. And my fiance just really connected with him and brought him home. and I'm so glad he did. He's the cutest little guy. Just this little... He was 5 weeks old! He couldn't stay where he was. And we brought his biological mother, who was named Ice, and we got to nurse on her for a little while longer than his siblings did. And we tried harness training him, and it was actually working, but we kind of just fell out of it. Nibbler has been a little stinker pretty much from the start. Always going at Arwen, which was ironic because when Arwen was a kitten, she would constantly go after my mom's now late cat, Speedy. So the tables have kind of turned, but every chance Nibbler gets, he goes after Arwen, and it kind of drives me nuts. He's just such a little troublemaker. I love him, but he's a little troublemaker. If something ends up broken, it was probably Nibbler. If something has scratches on it, it was probably Nibbler. But at the same time, he is the biggest cuddle bug. Like, and he didn't always used to be. Like, I could never get him to purr. For the longest time, I could not get him to purr. But now he's just, like, constantly on me, purring. It's crazy. I don't understand it, but I'm glad he's changed in that sense. Just a wild little man. A handsome little gentleman. I love him so much. Oh! Now he's on the desk. Come here. Hi. You're a little troublemaker. Yes, you are, but I love you. And that's my Nibbler. This is my mom's cat, Merida. Oh, she hi? What you think? She's so mad. Okay, what you got? Merida is my mom's cat. We brought her home in February 2019. And we had known about her since Thanksgiving 2018. There was this orange little stray outside our house, just constantly meowing with the voice of a 20-year smoker. Yeah. And every night, every night for hours, and we'd feel so guilty, so we started feeding her. And then one night in February, it was gonna get super cold, like 20 below, and I was like, Mom, listen to me. She's going to freeze if we don't let her in. And so we did, and we found out she was a girl, and her name is Merida, after the Disney movie Brave. So she's a sassy little orange lass. She is. She's just a she's sassy, but she's also very chill. She just doesn't really... She takes a lot just on the chin. She's a toughie. My mom absolutely loves her. She's constantly with her while she works. She's declawed. So someone adopted this kitten, declawed her, and then left her out to her own devices. Who does that? Seriously, what is wrong with some people? I'm glad we brought her in, because how was a declawed cat taking care of herself out there, the poor baby? She was about 1.5 years old when we got her, so I think she's about 4 or 5 now, maybe? I don't know. Time. Nibbler fell in love with Merida right away. Like, it was like instant love. It's crazy how, like, instantly those two connected. But Arwen took a little longer. Had to have a meeting of the cats and give them all catnip. And then they eventually started getting along famously. She was terrified of Jessie at first. Now she cuddles with her all the time. Merida's come a long way. So I hope you enjoyed this little getting to know you session with the pets in my life. I love them so much. They make me smile every day, even if I don't always feel like smiling. But I have surprised you guys. I have a confession to make. I've been making YouTube videos since I was about 15. I used to have a channel called Goofy Girl with GRRL. I stopped making videos under that name when I started focusing more on my writing, but I never deleted any of my videos. And there are videos in there that you guys might want to see if you like my pets. Like, there's videos of Jessie as a puppy that are just really cute that I'm glad I've kept. And starting today, you guys can watch all of them. I have made a little playlist with all of the videos with these guys that I have so far, including old stuff from the vault. I haven't completely opened the vault, but I went in and picked out a few gold nuggets out of it. If I ever reach 1 million subscribers, I may open the vault completely. We'll see. But for now, I took a little trip inside it. I hope you enjoy. So, thanks for sticking around. Thank you for helping me reach 500 subscribers. I hope you pet lovers enjoyed your part of my 500 subscriber spectacular.
Spectacular!
Until next time, stay goofy. Bye.